Thank you for joining us here on Flatbread. It's nice to have you back with us.
I'm Macy.
And I'm her dad. Today we're going to be doing a quick review of
Alita the Battle Angel.
Alita Battle Angel. Yep. So I've seen it twice now at the cinema. And we all went as a family, the whole family.
Once?
This weekend, yeah. Called an early screening. So I'm going to let Macy, my 9-year-old daughter, tell you her thoughts about Alita Battle Angel. So take it away, Macy. Tell the gang what you thought of the movie.
I thought it was pretty good overall. The CG was spot on, and when Alita was next to a real person, I couldn't tell the difference. It was really good.
What did you think about some of the fight scenes?
I thought that overall they were pretty good, especially the scene in the bar where she's fighting all the bad guys.
Well, actually, I don't know Zapan, I think, was a bad guy. He ended up being a bad guy because he does something. We're not going to spoil it, but it was a bar where the hunter warriors hang out, and she goes to kind of challenge them to help her, and they're all like, no, not a problem. She's like, oh, I'll fight you all. I'll fight every one of you. If I win, you help me. And yeah, that scene is awesome.
Yep.
Okay, what did you think of Alita herself?
Alita was awesome. Just herself. The way that she had her robot arms, and then she had this suit.
Is the United Republics of Mars? Yeah, she had the berserker. It's called a berserker suit.
How she would fight, and how she had like plasma rays.
Yeah, which they never really explain that. I mean, Ito says something about it, and he says, "Well, it's your body. It's designed for you. You know more about it than me." They never really explored the whole flame coming out of her finger and little vent, kind of like a vent system for that. So I think it had a pretty good story, and that's why I like this movie as much as I did, because it had a good story. It's a basic coming of age story, like a teenage girl coming to terms with who she was and then finding her place in the world, but
Yeah.
I like Sharon and Dr. Ito. I love Dr. Ito. But I like that they set up that they had a daughter who was about 12 and she was in a wheelchair. What did you think of that?
That part was kind of sad. How she was in a wheelchair, and Dr. Ito, her dad, he was almost done figuring out how to repair her legs.
He had a body that he was working on, and he never got to, connect her to it, I guess.
Yeah. He was the kind of guy who repairs people who get injured in motorball. And one night, somebody broke into his
lab, yeah.
Yeah, his lab, and he was looking for a kind of drug, kind of medicine, and he saw his daughter.
Ito's daughter.
And he took her out of the wheelchair and killed her.
Yeah, he ran out of the place when Ito saw him, and he, smashed... The guy smashed Ito's daughter and, I guess, killed her because he was so strong. And that was sad. But when he finds Alita, her core, her head and brain and heart, he's kept the body of his daughter and gives that to Alita. She starts out in the body of a 12-year-old girl. So what did you think when she got the berserker suit?
That was kind of awesome.
That was totally awesome.
Alita, just her character in general is awesome. Especially when she gets the suit, she can do pretty much anything.
Yeah, she gets a berserker body. She finds it. I mean, it basically kind of like the crash ship that she finds it on, kind of calls to her. She feels like she's connected to it.
When her and Hugo and Hugo's friend,
Tanji and the girl, the Vietnamese girl, I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
Oh, I like them all though. I like those characters.
And one of the funnier scenes was when some of Hugo's friends, they were talking about Alita.
The Vietnamese girl, asked Tanji, "Why don't you like her?" And he's like, I don't like that hard body type, and she's so she was the enemy.
And she's like 300 years old.
Yeah, she says 300 years ago, get over it. And I think that might be a comment on current social issues. Think about that, boys and girls. But they go outside the city through some jungle to a lake where an ship has crashed. And they're like, yeah, people have taken some stuff off of it, but nobody really knows what it is. Nobody knows how to use it. So it's been mostly left alone. And she goes underwater. Yeah.
She goes underwater. She finds a little room and she puts in a passcode, and she knows the passcode.
Mm-hmm.
There's the suit and
the berserker body.
Yeah, the berserker body. It's like a little shield that deactivates, and it comes out of that, and then she takes it off and she carries it like it's an actual human.
Yeah, like a human body. And then how about when Ito puts her in the body, puts the body on her, which he does because her old body gets damaged.
Yeah, the nanodots would like move around and change their shape,
and
that was really cool. She just like thought up a form of what she could take, and the nanobots, they turned her into that.
Nurse Gerhard, whom I love, by the way. I love her too. I love most all the characters in this movie. But she says that they're conforming to her subconscious image of herself. And when the process is done, she says, oh, and I think she's a bit older than we thought. So I'm pretty sure she was 16. Which to me, because when she wakes up, and this is one of my favorite moments in the movie, after she wakes up and Ito is laying on the couch and she comes over and like kisses him on the cheek and performs the pose where she kind of bends over backwards, and
yeah, she like stands on her two hands, and then she stands on one hand, and then she stands on one finger.
Yeah, she pushes herself up with one finger. So yeah, I mean, she basically gives herself the body of like a Olympic kind of gymnast, you know.
Yeah.
And then one of my favorite moments is when she goes and snuggles with Dr. Dyson Ito. See, that's why I like this movie so much, because it's about family. It's telling the story. They're coming together as a family, because she ends up being like, I guess what you would consider a typical teenage girl, 16-year-old girl, kind of rebelling against her dad.
Yeah.
And this one knows a bit about that.
Yeah. He tells her to like stay inside.
After dark, yeah.
Stay inside after dark. Don't be out too late. And even if it is daytime, don't go too far away from the house and stuff. And she completely disobeys that rule.
And then the whole motorball thing. Because she sees it early and she's like, that's so cool. And
says, yeah, don't watch that stuff. You don't want to get all carried up in that stuff and end up hurting yourself. She says, well, I'm not going to live by his rules.
Yeah. But she comes around, and later on she ends up referring to him as father. So I love that. That's one of my favorite moments.
The bar scene, that was awesome.
Yeah,
in general. That was that was my favorite scene.
What did you think of that scene where she fought Gruishka? Because this is about halfway through the movie.
I don't know. It was kind of cool, kind of not cool. I don't know.
He just challenged her because he was like, this is where I grew up, little flea. And at one point in the fight, he's got her by the head. Little flea, I'm going to take and make a pendant out of you and hang you around my neck. So I can, would like humiliate you or something. And he's like, and you'll be begging me for mercy. And she says, probably the best line in the movie.
She punches him in the eye and says, frick your mercy. And her hand comes off.
Yes.
And there's like wires sticking out. And it's weird.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal because she actually breaks her hand off. There is violence. It's toned down quite a bit from the manga and the OVA, the video animation, the animated series, but it's still pretty brutal at times.
They don't show actual blood, except, another spoiler, a dog dies. That's real blood. When one of the cyborgs gets hit or hurt, it's not like actual red blood, it's blue. Personally, I think that motorball should be its own sport.
A real sport?
Yeah, but not as, like violent and gruesome as
like,
it was in the movie.
Yeah, not like trying to kill each other.
Yeah, no.
I know one thing I wanted to do after watching it was break out the skateboard again and start skating. It's been a long time. I used to skate when I was a teenager, just for fun. I really never got very good at it, but I'd like to start doing that again.
The whole motorball thing in general, it just made me feel like getting a pair of skates and just skating. We had a little pair of blue roller skates, and every time I got a chance, I would go out into our shed and get those roller skates, put them on, like skate down the driveway, because it's actually a lot of fun.
All right, gang, hope you enjoyed story time here and our review of Alita. Till next time, gang.
Bye!